Riyadh. We're inside, and the RX individual men are on the floor. First of 3 heats. It's a 7-minute AMRAP. There's a buy-in, 20 double unders, 8 toes to rings. And kettlebell hang snatch. If you've been with us this morning, the teams had 6 rounds between 3. The 20 double unders, 8 toes, 6 dual kettlebell hangs at the 4 kilo kettlebell. Complete 5 rounds, they'll head to the 150 pound bag in the time. In lane number 1, we have Mohammed of Sudan. In lane 2, Mohammed from Tunisia. In lane 3, Lebanon. In lane 4, Saudi Arabia. In 5, Shia. Lane 6, 7, Abdul Rahman Sayed, Saudi Arabia. Lane 8, Yasin Letimi, Tunisia. Lane 8, Osama Mohammed Al-Dib, United Arab Emirates. Lane 10, Kuwait. 11, Islam, Egypt. Lane 12, Osama Al-Sabi, Syria. Lane 13, Marwan Salim, Egypt. Lane 14, Ahmed Hamdouini, Syria. Leaders in this heat are all getting into the 3rd round at the 2-minute and 15-second mark. We have a 7-minute AMRAP. 5 rounds need to be completed. They're on pace to finish that right around the 4:30 mark, which would give them about 2.5 minutes for an AMRAP on that sandbag. It's a lot of time for one person to be running back and forth through that thing. We'll see how the capacity holds up in this first heat. Try to identify a score to beat. All the athletes took on one workout yesterday and were seeded based on their performance in that workout. They did have a workout this morning outside on the streets surrounding the arena. They ran a 5K, but they're seeded based on their performance from one workout yesterday. 3 minutes have passed, 4 minutes remain in heat 1 of men's RX individual workout 24.3. Approaching the 4-minute mark. Several athletes here are into the last round of the 5-round buy-in, and we'll be getting towards that sandbag within the next minute.
Marwan with his last kettlebell snatches. He's going to be down, and now comes on to Nobleston. Sandbag, 7 reps, 150 pounds.
2 minutes to the time cap. Should be seeing some athletes getting towards that sandbag soon. They have definitely fallen off the pace from those opening 3 rounds, and they're just on cue. Lane 13, Marwan Salim is walking down towards his sandbag, strapping up a belt and turning around to get to work on the sandbag. As he leans over to pick it up, lane 11, Eslam Fares is going to be the second man to join him with 90 seconds to go, and Marwan has the sandbag up. As he does that, lane number 14 and lane number 9, Ahmed Kamel and Osama Mohammed Aldib are also heading towards their sandbag. Marwan Salim and Eslam Fares, 2 done for Marwan. Eslam Fares takes over the lead in the heat as we approach 1 minute to go. He's working on his 3rd sandbag in lane number 11. Lane 11 in the lead with 3 carries done. Lane 13 getting set on his 3rd carry. Lane number 9, Osama Mohammed working on his 1st carry, but the leader is in lane 11. The leader is in lane 11 working on his 4th sandbag carry, Eslam Fares, and he's going to make the turn and head back for a 5th rep with 45 seconds until the time cap. He drops the sandbag off there. Several other men have the sandbag up. Lane number 8, Yasim Litimi. Lane 10, Salah has got to the sandbag. Lane number 16, Eslam Essam. But the leader continues to be in lane number 11, Eslam Fares, now with 6 reps and working on his 7th as we approach 20 seconds to go. This is not the time to drop it, and he does drop it. We'll see if he can pick it up and get one more. 12 seconds and now 10 seconds. Eslam Fares has it up one more time. Maybe can get 1 or 2 more reps. He's glancing at the clock. He gets another rep in with 3 seconds to go. He picks up the pace and he's running. We'll have to check with the judge to see if he gets it. Everyone's selling out for a final rep at the end. Let's check in and see what 8 for Eslam.
7.
How many here? And 7 in lane 13. 8 reps. Eslam Fares will be the score to beat as far as we can tell. We'll reset the floor and bring out heat number 2 in just a minute. The athletes were seeded based on their performance last night in 24.1. They all took on a 5K run this morning as well, and this is the third workout out of 4 before the semifinals tomorrow. Middle of the floor will be the leaders. Lane number 10, Luka Jukic, comes in as the leader after yesterday. Lane number 9, Toby Buckley in second place, and lane number 11, Kalian Souza. Volodymyr Moloshko out of Ukraine comes in fourth, right, and he'll be in lane 8. Rashin Albufilasa, lane 12 out of Bahrain. Artur Semenov, Russian Federation, in lane 7. Youssef Diab from Jordan in lane 13. Eden Beasley, lane 6 out of the UK. Suleiman Al-Zaida, Saudi Arabia, in lane 14. Mostafa Salhani out of Lebanon in lane 5. Ahmed Bahashwain, Saudi Arabia, lane 15. Ali Hassan, Bahrain, lane 4. Connor Murphy, Ireland, lane 16. Jen Su, Malaysia, lane 3. Mohammed Gad, Egypt, in lane 17. Noah Shahabi, Bahrain, in lane 2. And Yassin out there in lane number 1. 5 rounds as a buy-in at 20 double under, 8 toes to ring, 6 dual kettlebell hang snatch with the 24-kilo kettlebells. Upon finishing 5 rounds, they'll head to the 150-pound sandbag for as many sandbag shuttle sprints. 10 meters equals 1 rep. Start with your feet behind the 1 orange line. Finish with the both feet passed on the other side. 8 reps from Eslam Faris, and heat number 1 is the score to beat. We'll keep our eyes on the middle of the floor. We have some very talented athletes. Luka Jukic from the CrossFit Games in 2021 is also the defending champion of SandClash 2023, and he has come here to Riyadh with the intentions of defending his title. Kalian Souza, lane 11, won the 5K run this morning after taking 3rd yesterday and is just 1 point behind, but he has about a 1 rep lead on Luka here. And Toby Buckland in lane number 9 in the white t-shirt was 2nd yesterday, had maybe a 6th place finish on the run. We're still waiting for the official scores to come in on that, and we'll be looking to chip away at those top guys. But it's lane number 8, Vladimir Moloshkov, who was 3rd place here yesterday. Artur Semenov right next to him in lane number 7, another CrossFit Games veteran in the field. Youssef Diab in lane number 13 out of Jordan is only 17 years old. He podiumed at the CrossFit Games 2 years ago, taking 3rd place in the 14 and 15-year-old division. He's hanging with the big dogs here and is in the mix. Came into the day in 7th place overall. Heading back to the rig, it's Kalian Souza, Volodymyr, Artur Semenov, then Buckland, and Luka Jukic. After that, we have Diab, and then Eden Beasley, who was in the top 5 here last year as well. Top guys in the middle of the floor. Souza, Moloshkov, and Semenov step forward, and they're going to have about a 2-rep lead over Buckland and Jukic. But this is all just a buy-in. We're only 2.5 minutes into a 7-minute AMRAP, and ultimately your score comes down to the sandbag carry. You can afford to be slightly behind if you have the stamina on the sandbag to make it up in the end. Moloshkov falling off the pace a little bit there, but the top 5 guys are in the middle of the floor, and they're all working on the 20 doublers here, I believe, in round number 4 or 5. Kalian Souza, Semenov, and now Buckland. And there goes Jukic and Moloshkov. So a little bit of a changing of the guard there in the middle with Buckland passing Moloshkov and Jukic. With Kalian Souza continuing to have a slight lead over Artur Semenov. The rest of the guys about a half round behind at this point. We're just past the 3-minute mark out of a 7-minute time cap. Souza and Semenov with a 1-rep lead over Buckland, who's got about a 1-rep lead over Jukic, who has a 1-rep lead over Moloshkov. Blue shirt is Semenov. Black shirt there is Vladimir Molochko. White shirt is Buckland stepping forward. And he has now overtaken Kalian Souza by a small margin. Jukic just slightly behind. So it's Buckland and Semenov, then Souza and Jukic, and then Molochko. The lead is changing, and now it's Buckland heading back to the last set of toes to ring with Semenov, Souza, and Jukic. Molochkov falling off the pace a little bit. We're approaching the 4-minute mark which means these guys are going to have nearly 3 minutes worth of sandbag shuttle runs with that 150 bag. It has to be carried in front of you. You cannot put it on your shoulder. 10 meters is one length. If you drop it in the middle, it's very costly, as you have to pick it up and go back to where you started before continuing down the floor. 4 minutes and 15 seconds gone, and Buckland is going to be the first one making his way down the floor. Semenoff on the jog next to him. Buckland strapping up a belt. Souza's coming. Jukic is coming. And we'll see who's going to get it up first. And it's Semenoff and Buckland with about a half rep lead over Souza and Jukic, who are step for step. Semenoff making the turn first. These are some big dudes. All of them can certainly handle this, but for 2.5 minutes, it's a little bit of a cat and mouse game. 2 reps for Semenoff, Buckland, Jukic, and then Souza. Malachko is done, and he's going to get to work on his sandbag. Those 5 guys have continued to separate from the rest. Semenoff has not set it down yet. Buckland has. Jukic has not. Souza maintains it. Semenoff still holding it, so it's Semenoff, Jukic, Kalian Souza, and then Buckland, Milochko, and now a bunch of the other guys, including Nua Sahavi, are picking up their sandbag. Yusuf Diva and Connor Murphy also making their way down to the sandbag. But eyes still remain on Artur Semenoff, who has yet to put this thing down. He's now done over a minute of sandbag carries consecutively. Toby Buckland takes a break again. Milochko takes a break. Semenoff, Jukic, and Souza are still step for step. Neither of them wanting to put it down. 90 seconds. Artur Semenoff kneeling down to grab it, and Jukic drops as Souza turns. So Semenoff and Souza, the last men on the sandbag.
11 for Artur Semenoff!
Again, 8 reps was the score to beat. Those guys have already passed that by, so whoever wins here will be the winner. We have about 1 minute to the time cap. Artur Semenoff and Kalian Souza have yet to drop the sandbag. Jukic has taken 1 break. Buckland has taken several breaks. Less than 1 minute to go here. Points per placement scoring, so every place matters. Souza currently 1 point behind Jukic and is currently 1 place ahead of him here. And Artur Semenoff is increasing his pace. Artur Semenoff, lane number 7. Artur Semenoff, lane number 7, is absolutely obliterating this. 18 reps consecutive. Kalian Souza 2 reps behind that. And then Luka Jukic has dropped it again. And I think at this point, Luka Jukic understands he's not going to beat Semenoff and Souza, and he's probably going to just be 3rd place here. But Souza hasn't dropped it, so Semenoff can't either with 15 seconds to go. What an impressive display from Semenoff and Souza. 2.5 minutes consecutively, and Artur Semenoff is running with the sandbag. 5 seconds to go. Souza and Semenoff get one at the end. Jukic just not. I believe it's going to go Semenoff, then Souza, then Jukic. And we'll have to check from there, as it was absolute chaos out there on the floor.
Well done. Coming up, 1 heat for the team's female and 1 heat for the individual male.
Yeah, Artur Semenoff should be the winner in that one. Kalian Souza should be 2nd place there. Great performance by both of them. Check them on competition corner.
So, coming up, are the following teams.
Yeah, Kalian Souza just coming over to check in and say hi. Winner of the run this morning, 2nd place on that one there. And he's going to be tied, I believe, on points with Luka Jukic at that point, and it's possible that they've tied on tiebreaker too. We'll always have to check for that. We're going to sign off for the men, and the women's teams RX will be taking the floor next.
This heat is Artur Semenoff.
So we're just going to change the sandbags for the ladies. Coming up, 1 heat for the team's female, 1 heat for the team's female, 1 heat for and he has 7-minute AMRAP for the female teams coming up. Share with you some names. But now, judges, again,
Saudi Arabia for SandClash 2024. The men's RX divisions team and individuals are done for 24.3. The women teams have one heat. 8 of those teams are competing here on the main arena. 2 will be competing in the private arena that's made available for the athletes that choose to compete over there. In lane number 5 is going to be your overall leaders, Kalashnikov team. Next to them in lane 6 will be the second place team, RAD, out of Egypt. In lane number 7 will be the Millennials out of Palestine, or the team captain is out of Palestine. Lane number 8, the Jean Jack Girls POW come in 4th overall. Lane number 5, Power Flex Trio coming in the 5 spot. Lane 6, EGY Giants. Lane 11 RED and lane 8 Team Horse. The order left to right on the floor when you're facing the rig should be what I said. They've pushed them all down into a variety of different lanes, but either way, the teams have to complete 6 rounds of 20 double unders, 8 toes to rings, and 6 dual kettlebell hang snatches. Each member of the team must do 2 rounds. The order in which they do it is up to them. And Ayjan Zir is over for Kalashnikov team, already establishing a 3-lap lead over the rest of the field. And at the 40-second mark, she's going to go straight into her second round. Jean Jack Girls POW athlete second to the jump rope. A couple of the athletes choosing to change after 1 round, which is perfectly fine to do. So it's Kalashnikov team, Jean Jack Girls POW, and then the Millennials. EGY Giants in the mix as well. Team RAD, who came in 2nd overall after yesterday, towards the back of the heat. And at the 1 minute and 23-second mark, Zarazova is done. And Alina will step forward, second athlete to get to work for the Kalashnikov team. She's got an entire 20 double under lead over Jean Jack Girls POW and the Millennials, who are 2nd and 3rd in the heats. Again, 2 rounds each, 20 double unders, 8 toes to ring, 6 double kettlebell snatches, 16 kilos.
All right, take a look right over here. Round 4 right over here. Team ROS, lane number 5. If you just joined us, it's 6 rounds.
Alina back to the rings for the 2nd time for Kalashnikov team. Leaders are in lane number 5. The leaders are in lane number 5. Lane numbers 8 and 7 are tied for seconds. It's lane 5, lane 8, lane 7. Lane 5, lane 8, lane 7.
Lane 5, lane 8, lane 7. So far, very good lead. Woo.
Lane number 7 athlete kicking off a shoe there.
Who's going to start off those sandbags?
Final athlete for Kalashnikov team in lane number 5, Kamila Takeyeva, fittest woman in Kazakhstan, is on the rings in her first round. We're 3 minutes and 15 seconds into. You see her on the left side of the screen there working on her 8 toes to ring. This is round number 5 of 6 for the Kalashnikov team. She'll step forward and hit the 6 double kettlebell hang snatches. In the black t-shirt there is the Jean Jack Girls POW, currently 2nd in the heat. On the right side of them, Power Flex Trio, 5th or 6th in the heat right now. Just past the halfway mark in this one. And Kamila Takeyeva is already on to the last round out of 6 for the Kalashnikov team. 8 toes to ring and 6 double kettlebells snatches to go before they'll get to their sandbag, where then the AMRAP of sandbag shuttle carries with that 100-pound sandbag. 10 meters at a time will begin. Last 6 reps for Kamila Takayeva. And after she finishes these kettlebell snatches, she'll be heading to the sandbag to start their AMRAP of shuttle carries. 4 minutes and 20 seconds. Ayjan Zarazova races out there and getting to work. Lane number 5, the only team on the sandbag. You see him in the blue pants there on the far side of the screen. That's Ayjan Zarazova, who went first and did 2 rounds for them. She's yet to trade off the sandbag, and she's now going to pass it off to Kamila Takayeva. And Kamila working on sandbag carries. Nobody else onto the sandbag yet. And Takayeva gonna pass it off to Alina. And she'll start working on the sandbag carries there.
And take a look right over there.
Lane number 10.
Lane number 9. Yep, and a race.
Several other teams getting there at a very similar time. So Kalashnikov team far and away ahead of everybody else. And then it's going to be a tight battle between the rest of the female teams out there. Most of them have now made their way to the sandbag. And with 90 seconds to go, it's where you just got to kind of dig deep and find a way to get it done. Must do 10 meters at a time. That's orange line to orange line on your screen. If you want to pass it off, you can pass it off in the air or drop it to the ground, but it has to be done behind the orange line. Approaching the final minute here.
Let's go. Very good, Team Mario. Yep.
One team still on the toes ring. Everybody else working on the sandbag at this point.
Come on, ladies. 1 minute. A lot can happen in 1 minute. Give it your all. Empty the tank. Keep at it.
About 45 seconds to the time cap.
Go, 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 go. Don't lose it. Don't lose
Again,
it.
this is
Keep
the
it up,
only
keep it
heat
up,
for the
keep it up.
RX
Oh, yeah.
teams
That's
of
it.
3
That's
for
how
the
we do it.
women's side.
We keep it
Kalashnikov
strong till the
team
end.
is literally
Till
running
the
away
finish
with
line.
this one.
Till the last minute. Up you go, up you go, up you go.
Besides that, it's going to be extremely tight. Several teams getting to the sandbag at the same time. Last 30 seconds.
Keep it up, keep it up, keep it up, keep it up.
Millennials making another transition.
20
Jean
seconds,
Jack girls power looking
20
good.
seconds. How's that
Millennial
feel?
cycle rate a little bit faster, but a little bit of a bobble on a transition there. Last 10 seconds before the time cap. Everyone going to be hustling to try to get 1 or 2 more reps here in the last couple seconds.
4, 3, 2,
And 1 final rep there for Kalashnikov team at the buzzer. They're going to take the event win on this one going away, and we'll have to check in from there. And we've seen some impressive scores across the board.
Unbelievable.
We'll have to check competition corner for the official scores there, but Kalashnikov team taking the win again for the female teams of 3 here on 24.3. The ladies in the RX individual division will be coming up in a couple of minutes. We will see you then. Belarus. Lane 9, Rawand Aldarawi, Jordan. Lane 10, Franciela Azarias, Brazil. In the women's RX division, just like in the teams, we do have a private arena here, the Sports for All organization in Saudi Arabia, making it possible for all female athletes to participate in one way or another. And so we do have 7 athletes, excuse me, competing over on the other floor that are in this division as well. As you can see, some of their names there on the leaderboard from yesterday. Amongst the women that are competing on the other side, Hind Al-Shamari, the fittest woman in Saudi Arabia, is the highest ranking, coming in 6th overall after one event yesterday. These women have already been outside this morning to do a 5K run around the streets here, surrounding the arena, along with all of the other athletes in the other divisions. And this will be the second workout of the day, third workout of the competition. They will be back for one more later tonight. And the women of heat number 1 for the RX females are off and starting their first round of 20 double unders, 8 toes to ring, 6 dual kettlebell hang snatches.
You guys look great.
Natalia Zouk, Margarita Fedorova, the first 2 on the rigs in the first round there.
Ladies have to complete 5 rounds. 20 double unders, 8 toes to ring, 6 of those kettlebells.
Natalia Zouk and now Rawand Aldarawi and Vera Hawkins, the first 3 to get to the kettlebells. Vera Hawkins, I believe, was 3rd place on the 5K run this morning. Will certainly be moving up the rankings with a great performance there. The athletes were seeded based on their performance in 24.1 yesterday. And now it's Rawand Aldarawi making quick work of the kettlebells and getting start on round number 2 alongside Kristina Iatenko way down in lane number 1. So Rawand, Kristina, Natalia, and Vera, the first 4. And now it's Vera Hawkins, followed by Rawand Aldarawi, and now Kristina Iatenko and Natalia Zouk, Ana Cristina Oliveira Souza, Leonel Cordy, and Franciel Azarias. 6 women on the toes to rings as Vera Hawkins and now Rawand step forward to the kettlebells. On the kettlebells where Rawand made her move earlier. This is a round 2 of 5 for the women in heat 1 of 2 in the RX female division. Workout number 3 of the competition for them. And those kettlebells looking a little heavy there for Natalia Zouk in lane 8. Very fast on the double unders and toes to ring, but gives away sometimes there as Hawkins and Rawand step forward. So it's Hawkins and Rawand 1-2 in the heat here. Iatenko in the 3 spot. And then Souza and Al-Kurdi 4 and 5 in the heats. Rawand Aldarawi comes off the rings 1 rep ahead of Vera Hawkins and gets to the kettlebells first. The kettlebells have been the sweet spot for Rawand, as that is where she's making her move in every round. And she got a few reps done before Vera Hawkins even picked them up here. And Vera Hawkins will step forward to the jump rope in lane number 9 is your leader right now. Lane number 9, Rawand Aldarawi out of Georgia. First to the jump rope in round number 4. Vera Hawkins down in lane number 2 is second.
4 minutes to go.
They're the only 2 athletes into the 4th round at this point, as Kristina Iatenko steps forward to join them 3rd in the heat. Rawand already back to the toes to rings in round 4, and she's going to have 3 or 4 reps in before Vera Hawkins jumps up to join her. Vera Hawkins is pausing to chalk up, and that's going to allow Rawand to extend her lead by another rep or 2. 3.5 minutes gone, 3.5 minutes to go. Again, you need to accomplish 5 rounds with the triplet before you move to the sandbag. 100-pound sandbag awaiting these women. AMRAP of shuttle carries will be the score on this one. And Rawand stepping forward, maintaining about a 1 minute per round pace here. Just past the 4 minutes mark, she's just starting her final set of 20 double unders. As she finishes up the 20 double unders, Hawkins with a couple rep, 3 rep lead over Christina Ayatenko in lanes 1 and 2. So it's lane 9 who is leading, lane 9 that is leading, followed by lanes 1 and 2. They're the only 3 athletes that are in the final set at this point. On your screen you see Leanne Al-Kurdi out of Jordan. But last kettlebell snatches in lane number 9. Last kettlebell snatches in lane number 9 as we approach the 5 minute mark. And she will be heading to the sandbag. Rawand Eldarawi. At the 5 minute mark. One rep done for Rawand.
The only need for the RX female individuals. Keep it up on
2 reps down for Rawand. As Vera Hawkins and Christina Ayatenko are finishing up. And Christina overtakes Vera by 2 reps on the last round of the kettlebell.
Second athlete starting on those sandbags.
Rawand yet to put the sandbag down. She's been carrying it for about 40 seconds. Christina Ayatenko gets it up, and she'll get a rep done as well. And Rawand Eldarawi drops the bag for the first time. We got about 1 minute to the cap. Christina Ayatenko with 2 reps down as Vera Hawkins is just now starting to pick it up. And now Leanne Al-Kurdi will be the 4th woman to head to the sandbag. You see her walking across the screen there. Rawand Eldarawi farthest away from you, carrying the sandbag. Next to her, Natalia Zook running to her sandbag for the first time. Off screen, Leanne Al-Kurdi gets it up for the first time as we see some athletes still working on the kettlebell snatches.
Good job, Rawand. Keep it up, keep it up, keep it up.
So it's Rawand Eldarawi, Christina Ayatenko, Vera Hawkins, Leanne Al-Kurdi, and Natalie Zook. Francielle Alzarias now heading to her sandbag in lane number 10 as well. About 20 seconds to the time cap. No need to drop it now. You got to hold on. And just like that, Rawand just jump it one more time. 10 seconds to go. She's got to get it off the ground if she wants to get one more rep in. We got a whole nother heat to go. Every rep can matter here. We see some of the women, and especially Leanne Al-Kurdi, running to the finish line. And Rawand rep there at the buzzer.
Indeed, 100 pounds is not easy. 5 rounds, you did great. That was the female RS individual. 1 out of
round buy-in of 20 double unders, 8 toes to ring, 6 dual kettlebell hang snatches with the 16-kilo kettlebells. After completing those 5 rounds, they'll head across the floor where a 100-pound sandbag is waiting for them, and they'll have AMRAP in remaining time of that 7-minute cap of sandbag shuttle carries. 10 meters, which is orange line to orange line on your screen, counts as 1 rep. The top score out of the previous heat, I believe, was 10 reps by Rawand Aldarawi out of Jordan. The women in this heat, starting in lane number 4, we have Paula Sorolla from Spain. In lane 5, we have Rexana Pantali from Bahrain. Well, she's not from Bahrain, but she lives there. Nuran Mohi is in lane 6 out of Egypt. Dima Zebdaya out of Jordan is in lane number 7. She comes in 6th place overall.
Behind the line.
In lane number 8, we have Ellen Hallgrimsdottir out of Iceland. Lane number 9, Julia Cato comes in 2nd place right now out of Brazil. Lane 10, the leader after yesterday, Evie Hollis. Lane 11, from Serbia, Milana Jakčić coming 3rd after 1 workout yesterday. In lane number 12, Sola Sigurdardóttir out of Iceland, who was 5th to start today, but won the 5K run this morning and will have moved up a little bit since then. Lane 13, Nada Ali out of Egypt. Lane 14, Katarina Lishenko out of the Ukraine. And in lane 15, Isabella Maisa from Brazil. 12 women on the floor here. We do have we had 1 heat already go, and we have some female athletes in this heat who are competing in a private arena as well. Sport for All, making that possible for all women to compete here at SandClash. And so on the leaderboard, you will see those names populate there. Hind Al-Shamari of those women will be 6th after yesterday coming into the day. Very tight after 1 round. Rawand Aldarawi, who had the lead of 10 reps after the first heat, basically holding about an Iman pace. Sola Sigurdardóttir, Julia Cato, Evie Hollis, all stepping forward at the same time. Nada Ali right behind them, along with Dima Zebdaya, Milana Jakčić, Ellen Hallgrimsdottir, and here comes the rest of the heat. Sola Sigurdardóttir first on the rings in round number 2. So leader is in lane 12. The leader is in lane 12, 2nd place in lane number 9.
Those ladies are focused, they're powerful, they're not losing a minute, they're keeping their eye on each and every round.
Sigurdardóttir off the rings and head to the kettlebells in the 2nd round here. See her in the gray t-shirt there, and in the green pants, Julia Cato, 2nd place in the heat. And then in between them in the gray t-shirt, Milana Jakčić, and in the black t-shirt, Evie Hollis. They were the top 4 after yesterday, or 4 of the top 5 after yesterday, excuse me. Sola Sigurdardóttir, who got the win this morning on the 5K run, is continuing to lead here. A little trip on the double unders in round number 3. We're just at the 1 minute and 55-second mark, and it allowed Cato to catch her. So Sigurdardóttir and Cato heading back to the rings at the same time. 1 rep done for Sigurdardóttir before she hicks up in the blue t-shirt there, Dima Zebdaya. And then behind her, in lane number 6, Nuran Mohi working away. See Hallgrimsdottir and Cato on the rings there. Evie Hollis now entering the screen on the right side. Cato heading off the rings, but she's 2nd in the heat behind Sola Sigurdardóttir. Sola in the white shoes and gray t-shirt with the black tights there. About 5 athletes in from the screen. There is Sola Sigurdardóttir, just finishing up the 3rd round at the 2 minute and 30-second mark. So she's got about a 30-second split time lead over Rawand Aldarawi from the previous heat. It continues to be Sigurdardóttir leading, followed by Cato and Evie Hollis. Ellen Hallgrimsdottir now 4th in the heat, followed by Milana Jakčić, and then Dima Zebdaya. These are the athletes we would expect to be in the lead, but ultimately it's going to come down to that sandbag. We saw on the men's side that getting there first was great, but if you couldn't hold on to it, athletes could pass you by. Just past the 3-minute mark, Sola Sigurdardóttir comes off the rig, still maintaining that lead, and she's going to get 1 and now 2 snatches, and then 3 before Julia Cato gets her hands on the kettlebells.
Lane number 12.
So it's lane 12, Sola Sigurdardóttir. Lane 9, Julia Cato. Lane 10, Evie Hollis. Lane 8, Ellen Hallgrimsdottir. Those are the top 4 right now, and now Dima Zebdaya has passed by me. Milana Jakcic for the 5th spot in the heat. Final round of double unders for Sola Sigurdardottir are done. She'll head back to the rings. We're at the 3-minute 45-second mark. 8 toes to ring and 6 kettlebell snatches remaining for her before getting to that sandbag. Giulia Cato about 4 reps behind, and Evie Hollis is going to be 2 reps behind Cato. On the screen there, Paula Zorola lives in the Netherlands but representing Spain. She had a very solid run this morning as well, and will certainly be moving up the leaderboards after that. Middle of the heat here on this one. Sola Sigurdardottir working on her last set of snatches. You see her in the back there with the gray t-shirt, black tights, sets them to the side. She's going to chalk up real quick and head down to the floor about 35 seconds ahead of the split time to beat. Sola Sigurdardottir will be picking it up as Giulia Cato finishes her kettlebell snatches. Sigurdardottir will have 1 rep done, but now it's Evie Hollis and Giulia Cato heading to the sandbag just in your screen there at the same time. Sigurdardottir 2 reps ahead. There goes Evie Hollis. And here comes Giulia Cato. So Sigurdardottir working on rep number 4 as Hollis finishes rep 2 and Cato finishes rep 1. And now we have Hallgrimsdottir and Zebdaya picking up at the same time as Milana Jakcic makes her way down to the sandbag. Sola Sigurdardottir drops the sandbag but picks it up. Evie Hollis drops it, allowing Cato to catch up to her. Quick break for Cato as she picks it up. We still have 1:45 to go. We did see a couple men that were able to hold on to the 150-pound bag for full 2 minutes and 30 seconds. But for the most part, a break would be expected. We still have 90 seconds to the break. Hallgrimsdottir drops it off. We see some athletes still working on their 5-round buy-in. Jakcic dumps it down. Evie Hollis takes a break. And Giulia Cato is now passed by Evie Hollis, who has had to take a couple breaks. Sigurdardottir drops it real quickly to reset, but she maintains the lead. So now it's Sigurdardottir, Cato, and Hollis, 1, 2, 3 in the heat currently. 1 minute to go into the time cap. That's a, and with 11 reps already completed for Sigurdardottir, she's already overtaken the time to beat, which was 10 from the previous heat. Hallgrimsdottir takes a break. Zebdaya continues to move. Dima Zebdaya, fittest woman in Jordan, is picking off some people on the sandbag carrier. She had a nice run this morning as well. Very consistent, high-performing athlete here at SandClash. 30 seconds to the time cap. Giulia Cato, I'm not sure if she's dropped the sandbag. It's Sigurdardottir and Cato. She has not dropped it.
Lena and Giulia, well done. You have not dropped a single one.
10 seconds to go. Sigurdardottir racing to get 1 more rep in here. And Hollis is going to get a rep at the buzzer. Jakcic gets one. Cato gets across. Hallgrimsdottir gets across. 20 reps for Giulia Cato.
You haven't lost a beat since you carried those sandbags. You rock in every competition.
15 for Giulia Cato.
Now, how are you?
Excuse me, for Evie Hollis.
We are so happy to have you.
19 for Sigurdardottir, so it might be Giulia Cato who took that there. As we said, she didn't drop it. So very close between Cato and Sigurdardottir. Unofficially, 20 for Cato and 19 for Sola.
Sola won the workout? Yep, indeed, and we need a few words. Woo!
So unofficial results have Giulia Cato with 20, Sola Sigurdardottir with 19. All results will be official on Competition Corner, but it's within 1 rep between 2 of the top ladies here at SandClash 2024. That will do it for workout 24.3 for all our RX divisions. All of those divisions will have 1 more workout later tonight, a few hours from now. We'll be back with all the action for you. Stay with us on SandClash on YouTube as the rest of the divisions continue day 2 of SandClash 2024.
Results are 20 for Giulia, 19 for Sola, top 2 athletes in this heat.
Thank you, Omar.
I've got 1K remaining in lane number 6, 1K remaining in lane number 5,